We're also fans of rosemary.
Yeah,
Rosemary's good.
especially Rosemary's Baby.
Makes great cocktails.
Wait, Rosemary or Rosemary's Baby?
Sure.
Wow.
Yes.
That smells really good.
Yeah.
What were
So
you saying
you're
about
saying-
lavender?
Right. So lavender is one molecule away from apple, and I learned this because when I was making apple wine, which is basically fermented apple juice, I wanted to add something to it, and I found out that I said, "What's the closest thing to apple?" And lavender came up, and I found out that it's basically on a molecular structure. It's just one off from actually apple. So. Yeah, it's apple and lavender. You can never go wrong. Just use food grade lavender if you're gonna mix it around. Don't. Just,
This is Hassler House Garden grade.
and it smells
lavender.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get into it?
Let's get into it. Cheers, genitals. Little trailer park boys for you.
That's really good. That's now. I gotta dunk. I gotta dunk it. I gotta dunk it.
Whoops. All that time wiping up the mess from the barrel. Here I am just
Spilling it all over the place.
I
That's
just-
okay. He just dribbled too. Everybody's got holes in their lips.
put a
at this
drop.
point.
I put a drop on there.
Welcome to the Savor the Burn podcast.
Yes, this is a special edition bonus episode. We used some Smoke Wagon, unfiltered, uncut, to make a cocktail here, and it's called what?
This is the Lavender Earl Grey Old Fashioned.
Yes, and
So I brewed us up a cup of Earl Grey tea, and I did that earlier this evening. Let it steep for quite a while. It probably steeped for about 50 minutes.
that's a long steep.
And then I dumped it out and just let it just cool to room temperature, so it'd be easier to work with in the mixing glass. And we used a lavender infused simple syrup, and the bitters we used in this one is lemon bitters. I just recently bought the lemon bitters.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know it was a thing. Fee Brothers has a flavor for everything. And I have a handful of Fee Brothers bitters these days.
I just read earlier,
But-
thanks to High Proof Preacher, I think you sent me the cocktail, but one of the ingredients in there was tiki bitters.
Yeah.
What the fuck is tiki bitters?
Right. So I in prep for this cocktail, I got the lemon bitters, and the nose on it is incredible. There's so much lemon that just a couple drops adds a lot to it. And that's really it. We've got our bourbon, we've got the Earl Grey tea, and the lavender infused simple syrup, and a couple dashes of the lemon bitters. Put it in a mixing glass with some ice, stirred to chill.
Yeah.
Poured over a large cube, and then garnish with a fresh slice of lemon, a sprig of lavender. And because I was at Whole Foods, and at Whole Foods I could not find lavender, thanks to your garden.
Yeah, we found some
got some.
alternative.
I found some edible flower petals that I brought
Most
in
flower
there.
petals are edible, though.
And just thought they'd add to the garnish.
Yeah. No, it's a pretty drink. Smells fantastic.
We're big fans of old fashioned here.
Yeah, no, I'm an old fashioned aficionado, and I can tell you this is a fruity, delightful take.
And this
Very
bonus is actually for Father's Day.
Yeah.
So happy Father's Day.
Happy
Thanks
Father's Day.
Thanks for putting your spuff up Mom's muff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really good though. I
The
like.
color this turned.
Yeah,
That's just
Right.
a great golden.
But
yeah.
Would you say it was almost like a high C? It almost turned like to
Yeah,
a
like
high C.
Yeah, and you called it
Golden
dirty.
icy.
A dirty high C. Yeah.
Dirty high
Well, because
C
you
orange.
know, it's like a high C has like that tang
Yeah,
orange.
it's
this
tang
is-
orange, super bright.
Yeah, but still, I get where you're coming from on it. But yeah, this is
This
just
made it more adult, not like USA up all night adult, but like it's like it's grown up,
And what I kind of one of my favorite parts about the mixing of those bitters and stuff is some of the bite from the proof got even more rounded off. Obviously, because there's some watering down and stuff, but I really like how the fruit and everything just kind of pops out.
So, as I've been thinking about and reading it, some of the cocktails I tried to experiment's not the right word, but test drive before we do them for the podcast. I did not get a chance to do that with this one, but just thinking about it and reading through there, I was just like, okay, so steeped Earl Grey tea, that's a lot of water because there's an ounce and a half of the tea in there.
It makes you wonder, like, does that help dilute it?
Is this diluting it down? For a second, I'm like, would this be better if I took some of the bourbon we used and steeped the tea bag in the bourbon and do it that way?
That's a whole thing.
Yeah, no.
I did not do that. I went ahead and just stuck with the recipe.
Yet, but we want to, probably with a lesser bourbon or something.
So
see what happens.
So if you, and this is just kind of what I understand about that is, if you do that with,
he said do.
If you do that with alcohol, there is a potential you could extract tannins. So what
the black tea.
And honestly, when it comes to whiskeys and stuff like that, if you're gonna add water in a team form, I think with the tea, the way that you did it, it's a very balanced herbal note that doesn't overpower anything else. You still get. I mean, you can tell that there's a tea in there. But you're not sitting there like, oh, there's too much.
And because of how we're using the tea. That's why I steeped it as long as I did.
It's like a concentrate.
To drink it as a tea, there's no need to steep it that much.
Unpalatable.
Or you're doing a concentrate to then add ice, add water, whatever. I purposely steeped it that long because I knew that we were adding our bourbon to it. We were adding our simple syrup to it. It was going to get natural dilution.
The tea was going to get proof
as
down.
it was. Yeah, exactly. But we're putting it in. We're putting in the mixing glass. We're putting ice in there. We're stirring it to chill it down. There's a dilution process that happens in that stirring.
I think that was a good call.
But so I wanted a little bit more strength to the tea, so that it would not get lost. Because one of the things that we do and we talk about on our Savor of the Bourbon cocktails.
Every cocktail.
Is when we make a cocktail, first and foremost, we want to make sure that the spirit shows up. It's got to shine. It's got to be present. We don't want an overly boozy cocktail that is like, this definitely's got whiskey in it. We want this particular spirit. We want everything that we experience when we tasted it neat. We want that to still be present in the cocktail. And then also with that, we want to make sure that the other ingredients also represent in some fashion. Everything does not have to be center stage.
It does not.
But everything needs to show up and
we want this
part
to be
of the party.
center stage.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think this does it.
I think it's well.
Every front man is only as good as the rest of the band around him. That's just, or her, whatever, around them. It's just how it is.
No, but I think this turned out quite well, for sure. Because I still get the notes from the whiskey for sure, but it's not overbearing. It's further smoothed out, but it also allows for the other flavors, like the lemon bitters definitely pop. You get, but it's it's kind of, as you drink it, you're kind of getting this wash of flavors. So it starts
layered.
It starts with the whiskey, ends with the fruit.
The lemon bitters.
And the lemon bitters are really great because after the aftertaste, as it sits in your mouth, there's kind of this fruity, I want to keep sipping this.
And the tea. For me, the tea comes in and it's married with the fruit and with the lemon. I was a little apprehensive when I got here and you started going fresh lemon wheels, and we already put in the lemon bitters. I'm like, I've never tried the lemon bitters. I don't know how this is going to go, but neither did you. And so we were just going to try this out, try it on the fly. It worked out fine. It did. It worked out just fine.
And because of that, I actually debated with myself, do I do a dehydrated lemon wheel or a fresh slice one? And I decided to do the fresh slice one so that we would get a little bit of that lemon juice fresh on
and the
top
oils
of it. The oils from the peel and just that top layer, because we're then setting the lavender and our petals on top of that. That's going to then soak down into that lemon wheel.
As far as garnishes go, like if you just need a garnish for the looks and like maybe a light snack after you're done with your cocktail, the dehydrated citrus slices that we have, savortheburn.com/shop, scroll down. Those work great. Those really do work great for that. But if your garnish needs to be part ingredient also, then it's like a singer/guitar player. Like that's what we needed this garnish, this lemon wheel to be. And I think it works out great. It really helps. It's like it's like the dude's rug. It really brings the whole room together.
and it does add an element.
Donnie, shut the.
It does add an element of freshness to the bitters. Where the bitters obviously are just a syrup, where the fresh lemon slice, to your point, the oils and the fresh fruit just kind of gives it that fresh zing on top, where it would otherwise be lacking in any other capacity. That's why I'm not a fan of bitters, but when fresh fruit of that bitter is used, it just kind of elevates it where I'm not bored. Because you can make anything a sugary alcoholic beverage, but if it doesn't have if it's refreshing and it keeps you wanting to pull, like I've barely been able to put this down. Like I keep
it's really that
I keep
good.
doing this. That's how I know it's a good drink. Is like
And you can find this on our cocktail tab on savortheburn.com. Just click that drop down menu, click cocktails, and scroll down until you find it. She's a beaut, Clark. It's really good. And if you're looking to upgrade your glassware, we've also got that in the shop. We've got a bar tool kit where we used
everything I used tonight is actually in the shop.
Yeah. There's really nowhere you can go wrong. So if you're looking for something for Father's Day, by the time you see this on Father's Day, it might be a little too late to order it, but I mean, maybe you haven't visited your father yet. Maybe your father is an asshole and you just want to get these things for yourself. You'll find them in the shop. Do you guys have any good, bad, ugly father's stories that may or may not include rock and roll?
So one day, my dad and I, we went down to the lake. We were working on the cabin. We have a cabin down there my grandfather built. And so putting in a lot of work, putting in a lot of time. We made some food. We had like some T-bone steaks or whatever. Overall, a hard day, but good food. And then we were relaxing outside, kind of the sun was starting to go down. We're all in the swings. Great breeze. Everything's just perfect, right? We got our beers in hand and we're just kind of enjoying the view of the lake. And this flock of birds that starts flying overhead.
Uh-oh.
And I'm sitting there.
Down.
Huh? No. I've
been shit on.
It's a flock of birds flying overhead, and you know how they do that. This is a big one too. You know how they do that V formation, where they're just flying across the sky. And this one was huge. Like it was so long. I was like, "Holy crap! Look at that, Dad!" And he's like, "Oh wow, yeah, that's a lot of them." And he goes, "You ever notice while those things are flying overhead that one side's always longer than the other?" And I was thinking, I'm about to have a dad moment, like where actually he's going to give me like some inspirational thought process,
some knowledge on me,
right? And he was just, and I was like, "No, Dad, why?" And he goes, "Well, there's more birds on that side." That was the first time I like shoulder punched my dad, like, "You asshole!" Like. We were just having this beautiful moment. We were having philosophical talks. These birds fly overhead, and you had to pull a dad joke on me. And then I was like, "Oh well, you know."
I mean, points for timing. Like,
oh yeah, he let me just play right into it.
He seized the moment.
Yeah.
My dad was a musician. He was in some band called Morning Star, I think. He was in a lot of different bands, as musicians go. And he played bass. He's left-handed.
Fucking bass.
And fucking bass players. He's a picker. Like he's got a pick. He doesn't use fingers like W2 over here. But
wizard fingers.
Left-handed fucking Rickenbacker, and he just loved the shit out of it. But I remember like I'd go over to his house and like he'd pick me up and bump my head on the ceiling, and you know, he wouldn't bathe for several days, and so his armpits fucking stink, you know, and I just, I remember it. I'm like, don't hit my head like ceiling.
Don't put me in a headlock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Put me in the, so gross. Yeah. To this day, I'm fouled out by underarm odor. Like, just fucking wear, that's it. That's all you got to do. It's super easy. Remember James Pettyjohn from the scene? He was Billy Mask's boyfriend for a while. Rest in peace, sir. But yeah, he wasn't a believer in deodorant. Said like, you don't want to stop your body's natural function. Listen here, hippie. So wear your fucking deodorant. Shower regularly. Brush your fangs. Simple, basic, grown-up
Cut
shit.
your talons.
But yeah, whatever. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So my dad and I, we've had our ups and downs. Had, you know, at least a decade of zero contact, but it seems like now he's not the monster he used to be. So it's really weird. I mean, you watch somebody drag their mother across the living room floor over a handful of pills, and you know, this is it. He's a goddamn monster. Like, I will never be this way. This is my wall. I'm never going this far. And so, and then to see just this kind of old, semi-crippled, frail man that he is now, it's like, holy shit, like, you're not a monster. I'm the monster now.
Yeah,
I'll smash.
You should just walk into the hospital room one day, well, if it gets there, and just be like, I'm the monster now.
Give me the pills, Dad.
No, but ask the nurse first. Like, did you already pill him? Like,
did you pill him?
Yeah.
How long will it last if I do this? If, hypothetically speaking. Dear old dad. But yeah, we've had our ups and downs for sure, and like now I'm trying to rediscover who the fuck this person is. And you know, he's offered things to me. You know, he's got like a transmission that would work great. I didn't even know they made TH400s that didn't have electric servos, like for shift control. I thought they all had to be hooked up to the computer system in the car, but he says this one's mechanically driven. Whatever. If you're a car nut, a car guru, whatever, leave a comment and tell me how dumb I am. But yeah, it's been a wild ride. How about you, Mr. W2? You've had good experiences with your dad.
Yeah. My dad and I have always had a pretty good relationship.
Good.
You know, he's an auto mechanic, so I grew up monkey wrenching, and my mom's got a picture. Actually, I've used it as my profile picture from time or two. Mm-hmm. I think I was probably 4.5, 5, somewhere in there. I'm on coveralls. I'm covered head to toe in grease. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the moment, but apparently Dad was doing something on the car. He was replacing something under the car, mm-hmm. and I was helping out. You know, he had the old school creeper. Yeah. That you lay down on it, slide underneath the car or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he had already replaced whatever, and slid out, got up to do something, and I had been underneath the car with him, watching mm-hmm. every move, every bolt or whatever. And so as soon as he left, apparently I slid back underneath there, and I picked up the ratchet, and I started breaking things loose, and he came back, and apparently I had whatever it was that he was doing, I had it near off again. And my mom snapped this picture of me just covered in grease. And
not understanding why you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I took it apart because I love you.
You know. But no, so my musical journey started third grade, I guess. Mm-hmm. A little bit before third grade, I guess.
You played a completely different instrument.
I started on violin. Mm-hmm. And, you know, very quickly I went from just school orchestra to getting a private teacher to excel a little bit more. And my dad used to take me to and from my lessons. And as a result,
you became a bass player.
I became a bass player.
No, sorry.
I developed a fondness of vanilla milkshakes, because when it was violin lesson night, we would always stop at Jack in the Box for milkshakes. Okay. And at first I was like, oh, well, you gotta have chocolate if you're getting a milkshake. Anything with ice cream, it's gotta be chocolate or whatever. And he's like, no. He goes, you need to give vanilla a try. And so anyway, over time, I developed a very, very strong love of vanilla, specifically for milkshakes. And so, we bonded over milkshakes. And
every time you have one, it reminds you.
And then,
This is how you remind me.
And then working on milkshakes. I think I was somewhere in high school. Actually, it was the year my birthday's in the summer. The summer before I turned 16, he told me that for my 16th birthday, I was getting the 70 Chevelle he had. At that time, he had just finished doing a full restoration on it. So he had all the body work done to it, repainted. But the beginning of the summer that I turned 16, he decided it needed a new motor. It had a small block 350 in there, but he had a small block 400 in the garage that we had put a high-rise cam in and a 4-barrel carburetor.
Got a little rumpity bump.
Done some extra things to it. So that summer, that became our project. And so we built this motor together. And
that's cool.
We punched it out. So I think it was 415 when it was all said and done.
Is that 30 over?
Something like that.
I just went blank.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I'm just not a car. I'm not a car. I know I can fix a car. I just don't know what the terminology.
I got you.
At some point, it had a broken motor mount, so we needed to replace the motor mounts. So we replaced them with solid motor mounts. So the whole car at idle just sat there and did this.
Yeah.
So there was no flex in the motor mount, so the motor would shake the car.
It's just solid. Yeah.
Yep. It had mufflers on there to where when it was at idle, it was nice and quiet. But if you got into it at all, it was just the baffle doors would open straight up and it'd be pretty much a straight shot. So,
Straight pipes.
Oh, wow.
So it would scream. I was 16 and a half when I was pulled over doing 97 miles an hour. I had been doing 160.
Yikes.
Maybe, or
in a
maybe
70
not.
Chevelle. With all that.
I always try to knock like
That
15 miles an
God's
hour
honest
off. Well, if you
fucking
caught me
rubber.
under this, then I was already hitting my brakes. What I just learned is that you were playing violin in third grade. I was playing cello in third grade.
Awesome.
Yeah, and like I played cello all the way through high school.
My son Ethan.
And then
Cello.
I became a guitar player. So like we did the swap. You're on the melodies, now you're on bass. I was on the bass, now I'm on melodies.
Oh, yeah. I had a recorder and a girl named Stacy.
Okay, cheers to that. I got nothing left for that one.
Good time.
That's a good drink though. Hell
yeah, solid cocktail for Father's Day and for any day, honestly. So like if you want to take your cocktail
I'm
game,
gonna remake that one.
kick it up a couple notches, add some flowers in it. I mean, this is.
I might try to talk Miss Katie into trying that one out.
This is pretty good. Yeah, usually you can't go wrong with an old fashioned. If you appreciate bourbon, if you like bourbon, whatever.
We got her to try that banana old fashioned.
The banana.
She liked it.
And I was gonna say
that caught us off guard.
Old fashions are an inoffensive way to introduce any type of whiskey, bourbon, whatever. So,
Since you have a designated driver,
yes,
maybe we can rinse this cup out and he can make you a banana old fashioned.
maybe.
Well, we have one of the others.
Because we got some howler.
I do have to be relatively.
Yeah, you got work tomorrow.
Don't
we all?
work tomorrow?
Stupid work.
I gotta talk
Damn
opinions.
the man.
Why have all these experiences?
You know what
now?
we do
We can
need
just
to
have
try?
you later. We're gonna have you come back.
Oh yeah.
You pass the smell test.
What do I smell like?
Well, my dad always said once you get past the smell, you got it licked.
Wait, but I thought you meant the Burger King armpits.
No, but no.
But
This was like Campbell's soup and hot onions.
Phil's wife Phil's wife brought us some
Oh yeah,
tasty beverages.
Yeah.
and they're really good.
Let's take a quick pause. Let's pour those up and give those a try.
Yeah, let's try them out.
Are those over ice? Are those
One of them was
taster
over ice. I
glass?
remember.
Well,
Or are they both?
They should be over iced.
Should be over ice.
The
Okay.
one that was milk filtered should be shaken with ice.
Okay.
Just to
We have a
Okay.
shaker up there in
Okay.
the bar.
So I need to put that in a shaker with ice. Shake it up,
pour it.
and then pour it
And then the
over
other-
ice, or pour it.
Pour it neat. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you shake it up with ice, pour it neat. That's the lighter yellow
Okay.
colored one. The darker one is you pour over ice.
I've got some coops in the freezer.
Because you don't want to
So-
be a poop.
No poops.
I freeze my coop,
Yep.
Or
so we'll
poops
pour those up.
Don't be a poop. Freeze your coop.
or poopsie. Or
Do you want one of those, or are you passing on it?
No, I always. My wife makes good cocktails.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I think you guys are gonna be pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
Well, pause.
Pause.
Like when I put my socials on private, to where like you can't look at anything unless we're
Best mates.
like best buds on.
We say Dicke Freud in German.
What?
Dicke Freund. Or Dicker Freund.
Dicker Freund. No, nein sprechen Sie Deutsch. Lo siento.
Kein Sprechen.
Kein
Sprechen Sie Deutsch.
sprechen Sie.
German lessons with an elementary level German speaker. I just learned how to count to 10.
I didn't learn that.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, we have some special juices that Phil's wife mixed up for us to try out. We're gonna the first one, the whole bottle goes in the shaker with some ice. We're gonna shake it up. We're gonna pour it neat
Whole bottle.
over into our glasses. We got a couple coops. Nick and Nora, you got to freeze your coops. Don't be poop. Why'd you lean away?
That's how I asked her to do it, but she never wants to comply.
The double fisted, the Texas tornado.
Yeah, but you got to go up and down, up and down, up and down.
Up and
You got to wiggle it like an oar.
With me, there's not enough. With me, there's not enough material. To
So
work
this is a vodka-based drink that has black tea and bitterings that is filtered through a milk. It's a milk washed
Milk
beverage.
wash. Yeah, we
So
were
that's
talking
why
about
you're
that
getting
a
this
little bit ago.
foam on the top, and that's why you shake it up is to bring back some of that froth. But it's filtered through milk to extract the tannins from the black tea.
Okay.
And then that's an accent. And this, there's like some pineapple-y business going on. All I know is this is freaking delicious and dangerous all at the same time.
All right. All
So,
right.
thank you, sir.
I hope you guys enjoy. It's one of those drinks where she's like, "You want me to make you another one of these?" And I'm like, "I want to stay sober." Like,
Very interesting, isn't that? Like
lots
you smell the milk on the nose.
And the pineapple.
Nope.
You guys say milk or milk?
But here's the thing: it's a grapefruit.
Grapefruit?
Okay.
Yeah, but it feels like when I smell it, I think pineapple.
When I looked at it, when I saw it, I thought
Yeah.
pineapple
But it's a grapefruit with lemon
and
kind
tea.
That is
Tea.
delicious. Yeah. The tea comes through.
Wow.
It comes through as like
Wow,
a like
that's
a
really
like
good.
a green tea kind of or a hibiscus kind of tea.
Yeah, a floral black
Well, it could
tea.
be green tea. Maybe I said it wrong. It could be the green tea. You know what? You're right. It's green
Is
tea.
it green tea?
It's green tea. Yep. Sorry. She makes them. I drink them.
We'll have to
But
have her.
but I
on.
like how it gives you like that nice little foamy head.
Yeah.
And then you don't even necessarily realize that there's alcohol in it. It just
Right.
it's a refresh. Like I would consider this like a pivotal hot summer like refreshing beverage.
Yeah.
And it always creeps me out when she makes it because when she filters it through the milk, it curdles.
You got boozy cottage cheese.
It's that's what you're thinking, right? And then it comes out like this after it filters
Yeah.
through the cheesecloth, and you're like, there is no milk in it. It just
No milk solids.
yeah, no solids. But like, there's nothing there that's lingering.
That's delicious. That's fantastic.
That really is. Thank you so much for bringing that. For bringing that for us. This is really good. Does it have a name?
It does. I don't remember it.
You don't remember it?
No.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
And all right, so the next one is neat over an ice cube.
Yeah,
or
this is
just
neat over ice. This is neat over ice. No need to shake it. This is the bourbon spice rack.
Most excellent.
So bourbon spice rack was a drink she had while she was out in Raleigh, Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina. And the bourbon spice rack, and this is a modified recipe.
The name of the venue?
No, this is the name of the drink.
Oh, okay.
So it's called a bourbon spice rack. Now this is a modified recipe, but essentially you have lemon juice, grade B maple syrup.
That's chilled. I like it.
You have Torino. This one didn't change. It's I don't know if it's Cocky, whatever. Torino vermouth, and it's Four Roses bourbon.
Okay.
Which, I mean, who's going to
we've
argue
had-
with that? Four Roses is great.
Yeah, their standard version not so hot.
Yeah, but the special
anything
reserve.
else they have?
the select.
Yeah. So this is
You've seen
the special. This is the small batch.
Okay. Okay.
And then you've got cardamom bitters
Oh man,
and lavender bitters.
Okay.
I'm all about the cardamom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that small batch. Did I take that with me?
No, I think it's still over there.
Okay, good. Because I have this thing. Into Existence is known for that's where bottles go to die. So after we're done here, if I take it home, I take it to Into Existence band practice, and that's just
Just drink it.
it's gone. It's gone. Yeah, between 5 people, it's just like I said before, fart in the wind. So yeah, cardamom bitters. We used that once.
We've used it, yeah,
I think
at
we've
least
used
once.
it once.
very-
On
it's
the
a-
podcast once.
There it is.
It's a very unique take.
That is.
Yeah, cardamom bitters. Yep, that's it. Oh, this is
Yep,
so.
you can smell it.
Oh man. Cheers.
Yeah. That was a chair.
I bet it was. I bet it was.
Yeah, I need to go fucking maintenance wipe. Holy
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
a good.
good.
That's so
really
good.
Yeah, this is the bourbon spice rack. And I love how that cardamom just pops through. The lavender comes right in underneath.
It's back there in the back of the tongue.
It just breathes through. Mm-hmm. And then you get that maple syrup sweetness.
Maple syrup,
A little bit of lemon.
a little bit of lemon. Yes, so the citrus. It's almost orangey.
This is a 10
Almost.
cocktail in the glass. Presentation, I wouldn't give it a 5. But the taste,
But it's got the cute little bottle.
But this cocktail,
yeah, is this classified as a cordial?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know it's a bourbon-based cocktail. I don't know if it would be considered a cordial.
yeah.
Okay, so
'Cause
this
a
is
cordial-
almost like a
It's a freezer door
batch cocktail.
It's a batch cocktail.
Batch cocktail
It's a
kind of
batch.
concentrate.
That is batch cocktail. Yes.
In
Concentrate that you pour over ice. It's a batch
in
cocktail.
a single serving.
It's all that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we made 3
triple
servings.
serving.
So to be perfectly fair, technically, you could put this in a shaker to pre-chill, pour over ice, and let it wet down because of the sugar content. So you thin it out as you drink. Whereas the previous one with the milk,
Does this have any citrus in it?
It does. It's got lemon.
okay, so we had to use
Okay.
it fresh. Good thing we used it today.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like
So
this
it
is
would
not
not-
something. This is not something you make and then store in the fridge.
Yeah.
And that's the same goes for.
But you could batch it for a party
And
absolutely
that,
put it
that
in a
morning
put it
and have it.
put it in a little tea dispenser. or
add
whatever.
citrus day of.
Yeah. Totally 100% doable.
Maybe mix it with a little bit of water. And serve it over a solid ice cube.
I know that technically this would keep for a couple days,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
but that-
citrus doesn't go
it's-
away the day of.
it's not that fast. But yeah, you're in about a 3-day window of
Yeah.
deprecation.
24, 36.
Just like those mulberries
Yeah.
that I gave you.
I mean, you could honestly drink it after that time period. Yeah, it's just not gonna.
It'll just start getting bitter.
Yeah, it's gonna start.
It's gonna
tasting
slap, but
lost,
in all the wrong ways.
or lost. Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
I thought you were a hot Latina trick. You're a dominatrix in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, and suddenly you just got jumping.
Das Boot.
Oh my God, the Scheiße!
Man, if you're in any German Scheiße videos, you tell me, will you? Sure. Little South Park for you.
Forgot about that episode.
Remember, like, you could watch their pupils in their eyes, like,
Oh my God!
Freaking Cartman, man.
You can! Oh my God, you can! Hey, Mom!
Kitty's being a dildo. Well, I know a certain kitty that's sleeping with me tonight. What? Nothing.
Oh my God. It's like early South Park.
Yeah.
That is early South
That's
Park.
way early South Park.
I know that South Park. I hadn't. It's been a minute since I remember it.
But once you hear it, you remember it.
Like,
Because at the time, you're like, that is one of the most wrong things I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, so, all right, so the this one, bourbon, the other one, vodka.
Yes, correct.
All right. So anytime I hear vodka, I wince.
I do the same thing.
Like when you've had a bad experience with it, you've had a near-death experience with it. I was probably 10, and that's when I had mine. Like I learned that yes, I love vodka, but vodka hates me.
Yeah.
But I was super inexperienced, and I told my
10.
at 10. Well, come on,
I mean, I was.
come on.
Technically, I was 14, so we're not that far apart. We're not that far apart.
I lived like so. The KC Raytown.
I used to stash Sky bottles up in the ceiling in my room.
The KC Raytown borderline went right through our garage, and I've got Sugar Creek DNA, so vodka was bound to happen.
That's all you had to say.
Sugar Creek DNA, Ed Raytown equals vodka, young age. But anyway, so like from maybe 10 to 40, I didn't fuck with vodka
Yeah.
at all. Like a good 3 decades worth of time. That's a score and a half for those of you paying attention. Like I did not fuck with vodka. But then I learned that vodka can be used for tinctures, like if you're making essential oils, if you're doing this, that, and the other thing. These fucking witches and their witchcraft, like they use vodka for that kind of stuff. And then you got
Very neutral alcohol to dissolve.
where's your ice? Did you eat your ice?
Fuck yes, I did. It was
Ice.
delicious.
You ice eating son of a. But I just didn't like. Yeah, so that last one with the tea, I've come to understand that vodka can be used as a tool to extract things and not leave its flavor, but take on the flavor of everything that you put in it. So
A lot of bitters.
yeah,
vodka.
bitters use it.
Yeah.
Tinctures use it.
It's the most neutral alcohol you get, close to grain alcohol.
Grain alcohol. Yeah,
Grain alcohol is the most neutral, but you don't want to put grain alcohol in everything. So vodka is like the second best. And honestly,
you can put it in your car.
Get you drunk.
it does get. We use like so.
Okay.
Like if I'm nervous about an airlock,
But
like if I get absolutely nervous, like a dried out airlock or something, I'll pour vodka and I'll just go get a cheap bottle of Viaca or something, and I'll just pour it in there because it's a neutral spirit. If it gets sucked into the beer, nothing goes
dissipate.
wrong.
Yep.
It doesn't. The flavor doesn't get ruined. It just, if anything, it boosts the alcohol volume, but it also keeps things sanitary.
Well, and that's why with when you
sanitation
make
is paramount.
Yes.
when you make a simple syrup, they recommend for shelf life you actually add a little bit of vodka
Okay.
as you've got
In
it
your
on
Demerara that we've been using for a long time, you put vodka in there?
it's not much. It's like a half ounce.
Right.
It was a good time.
This was a good time. I'm really glad that you came over. Out of the times I met you, I knew you were a cool dude. And anytime that I had asked anybody about you, it's like, yeah, dude. He's like cream of the crop. He's cream of the crop.
I don't know about that.
Well, anyway, you're like
I'm a 13-year-old and a 40-year-old body.
Nobody has had anything bad to say about you that I've known of.
I appreciate
I've
that.
met. So that's the kind of life I want to live. But unfortunately, I've fucked that up several times.
But nobody's immune to fucking up. I'll say that.
Right. But like some people, I mean, unfortunately, sometimes you end up being the villain in somebody's story, and I'm that in at least 4 or 5 different.
I'm right there with you.
You are
man.
too. All right.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I haven't met those people, but I mean,
That's because you can't find them.
My dude. You brought over these cocktail mixers.
My wife.
My wife. And she's totally cool too. I'd really love to come over and invade your space sometime with our microphones and stuff and cameras and just really just fucking nerd out, because you brought some nerdery to the table tonight that we haven't had before, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, and there's so much more nerdery going on.
So much more.
We turned into a full-fledged meadery, winery, brewery. I mean, and then we got nuts on all kinds of. She got me on rum. I've always been a whiskey fan, but I always try to take it easy on whiskey.
And rum is something that we haven't even touched on this podcast.
Yeah.
If you have a suggestion for rum, please drop it in the comments. Send us an email, info@savortheburn.com.
Oh, and gin. Sheila really likes it. She's a gin aficionado.
Gin? Yeah. We haven't fucked with gin either.
I don't want to.
You don't want to?
I mean, I like.
I've slowly been getting into gin.
She's gotten me back into gin because she makes some good. If you guys like these, then the gin drinks. She does a cucumber. She does this other.
Cucumber's pretty bitchy.
Now you're talking.
I think one thing that I would suggest that I don't even know if it would work, but we talked about licorice, and one of the licorice, one of the bottles we tried before, but absinthe. I think if you did an absinthe rinse on that coupe, like you rinse it and you fucking throw it. Maybe 2 or 3 times, make sure it's out of there, and then pour that first one in there. Shake it over the ice.
That's a good idea, and I would make sure.
That would be the only thing I would suggest to change. And we have not done an absinthe rinse. Absinthe rinse.
We need to do
before.
that.
I swear, I thought I had it.
Absinthe is my jam. Do you have any?
We do not.
No.
We do not. I have some to bring over at some point whenever we need it. But
there's some good absinthe out there. And I know that a lot of people are like, well, if it doesn't have the wormwood, it's not legitimate. It doesn't matter. Wormwood has become less of an issue because... sorry, I'm about to go on a tangent. But people always think about wormwood as like this like hallucinogenic thing. And all they're talking about is thujone levels. Thujone is the active ingredient that causes the hallucinations. But in order to do that, you need a concentration of wormwood big enough to create enough thujone to create the hallucinogen. You would be so drunk and puking your butt off even before you would start to hallucinate. In fact, the only reason you're hallucinating is because you drank too much and probably smoked too much freaking weed trying to get high, and maybe you took some mushrooms to try to accentuate the thujone.
And that's what she said.
However, the thujone does actually cause hallucinations. It's just the concentrations of that thujone take so much wormwood, it's almost impossible to achieve.
We need wormwood extract.
I used to put wormwood in my apple wine, and I would try to concentrate it down, but you need a very large amount. I'm not even kidding. Like it's not like I just buy a pound of wormwood and get enough thujone concentrate to dose you. It's not like that. You need a lot to get it concentrated down enough, and
need a whole cord.
The bitterness of that liquid would be so sour and foul, you would not even want to drink it. So now you got to dilute it. So now you got to come up with some system to make this bitter syrup resin thing to actually cause a problem. It's just not worth the effort or the money. It's so insane.
Just stick with absinthe and call it good.
Yeah, just stick with a good absinthe. No, a good absinthe, especially one that you can like pour over the sugar cube, light on fire, maybe. Get some caramelization and stuff. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Now you're talking.
Well, you're burning the alcohol out of it.
Well, no, you don't burn it out of the alcohol. You pour it over, so there's some that pours down.
So you got the glass.
So when the
cube,
the spoon,
and then
the cube gets saturated after you've already poured some through, and then you torch it, so it caramelizes that down into the drink, and then you dilute with water and milk it.
And then
So when you add milk to that absinthe, it milks the.
I've never heard of adding milk.
No, you don't add milk. It's just water.
Oh, okay, and it turns it milky.
The reaction turns milky. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my brother's a big absinthe fan.
You have a brother?
Yeah. He's older than me. Clearly.
Learning about you.
But anyways, he turned me on to a good absinthe, and he's got a couple of really good ones that I'll ask him about it, and we can.
Yeah.
Because if we were going to do that to my glass, you might as well use a good one.
Yeah. future episodes. Holy smokes. I'm really glad you came here.
No, I'm glad you guys invited me, man. This
Like I
has
was
been
saying
great.
before,
I love this.
we knew you were a good dude, salty of the earth kind of guy, a fellow musician. One day we will get some rock tales out of you. We talked about it, but like, you know, if you gotta like say, oh, do you have a rock tale for this cocktail? That's forced in our opinion, and we are not going down that road.
Yeah.
It's not authentic. Like it has to just flow out. Like all of our conversations do. We go off on tangents.
Oh, you could have just asked me a specific question about like, have you ever had a time with whiskey at something? And then I would have been like, whiskey at some. All right. So, anyways, I was at Aftershock, and we had just finished playing a show, and I was, you know, I had some beers before the show and everything like that. But then,
As you do.
the bartenders knew I liked Jameson. It was kind of like my standard. I would like a shot of Jameson, give me a PBR.
Okay.
I just kind of want to flow through the night.
Yeah.
Well, it was a St. Patrick's Day show, and so the whiskey was a-flowing, and they ran out of the Jameson whiskey, so we just started pilfering anything. And I don't remember, but I ended up in a back kitchen or the back area of the whole facility, and the next thing I know, I am so inebriated that I go out to the porch or the deck that they had out front, and it's obviously late at night.
Yeah. The smoker porch.
The smoker porch, yeah. And I'm having a smoke, and there's this dude just standing off in the like kind of not like catty corner.
Was
like,
he deaf?
No, he was just standing there. He was standing
Mr.
there.
Ruddle.
But he was no, it wasn't that good. But now I catch on. All right,
Right.
It was not Mr. Ruddle. Okay. But yeah, this dude was standing there. He had this angry look on his face, and I'm like, all right, dude. And I walk up to him like, hey man, you all right? Like, you doing okay? Because you look a little pissed off. And he just kind of looked at me. He was like, oh, I'm fine. And then he just walks off like in a marching fashion, like he's about to go like ruin somebody. Do you remember? Oh, right. I hate when I forget names. Rob, the door guy. Oh well, his last name was
Billy, but
no, it was
Rob.
It was Rob. He was kind of a bigger guy. Like he wanted to be a bouncer kind of guy. And I was like, hey, man, there's a weirdo at door number 2.
I snorted.
And I'm like, this dude just looks pissed off, and I think something's going down.
Spilling aisle 3.
And then as I'm walking back in, so I went to the front, watched the music for a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to circle my events here in my head because I can still see it like yesterday. I walk up to this is when they had the circle bar, so it wasn't just
okay, way back when.
Yeah. And I walk over to the other side of the bar to go get myself another beer or something. And there's this dude sitting at the bar, and there's other dudes sitting at the bar. This is the first guy that was angry. This is the new guy that I have no clue who he is. I am ripped. This guy is showing his cell phone to this other dude and saying, that's my daughter. And I'm like, okay, this got weird. And like, he's like, why are you talking to my daughter? And so I walk up to the dude that was angry before, and I was like, we got to get you out of here because you're about to get not even like strung out, but you're going to be like
nuclear.
Yeah, everything's going to go bad. And I went up to the guy that was causing the problem because look, I want everybody to have a good night.
Absolutely.
Like I'm in the middle of trying to have a good night, but here I am like just caught in this weird drama fold, and I am lit. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Like in my head, I know I'm speaking like logically, but what's probably coming out is, "Hey, you motherfucker!"
All these floating math equations.
And I'm like walking over to Rob, like, this motherfucker over here, man, he's causing fucking, wonton mayhem.
In your mind, you're like, okay, we have an issue, we have a problem,
exactly.
we need to rectify.
And I'm like, hey man, I'll help you carry this guy.
Conflict resolution.
You grab him by the legs, I grab him by the hands, and then we're
gonna station somewhere at that door. You're gonna watch
the
that
deaf
door.
guy's already got a hold of.
So insert whirlwind of events that transpire. Apparently, we got that weird guy out to his own van. I took his keys and chucked it into. It wasn't a work van. It was like one of those economy or what? Not economy. The double door Econovans.
Free candy.
Dodge. I've got something. So I grab his keys and I just chuck it into the back of his van where there's just trash all back there. So good luck finding a way to drive. Yeah. And then I talked to Rob, and he was like, dude, everything's cool. And I was like, what was the fucking problem? He goes, apparently that dude screwed that dude's daughter. And then I found out like a week later that dude was in another local band. And turns out he had to move out of the state, and he is now living completely somewhere else because of this whole like thing. And I was just caught in the middle of it during a fucking wild ass playing a show, enjoying my night, and then trying to keep the peace and not realizing that shit went down.
That could have gone so bad.
Right, exactly.
It's a good thing you saw him out there on the smoker's deck.
And that's
Right.
what happened, kids, when you have absinthe.
Sure.
Irish whiskey. Dudes banging your daughters. Vans.
Definitely Vans. By the way, if you ever take somebody's keys away from them while they're trying to drive, throw them in under the seats or out of the car. Just throw them somewhere. Don't let them. Don't
Not
let
in the
them go
back. Just put them under the seat.
Well, if the back's dirty enough, they'll never find it because they're too drunk. But just get rid of it. Don't let people get away from you when they're completely tore up. That's just not safe.
Yeah, and we talked about state troopers earlier tonight. I had contact with one night after Aftershock. I pulled out. I didn't know it was a 25-mile-an-hour zone, and I was going like 35 or whatever. And so he pulls me over. My daughter's like, "What are we gonna do?" Oh my god! I'm like, "It's cool." Pop open the Monster Tea, take a sip. What's going on, officer? It's like, did you know you were going 35 and a 25? I had no idea it was 35. And it was a night after we had a show. All the merch is in the bag. What you got back there? Boxes of papers? Yes, sir. Not merch. I'm not in a band. I was here to see a show. Somebody bumped into me. My glass went up, and now I'm wearing it. That's why I smell like alcohol. Whatever. It's like, so you seem cognizant enough to where I'm not gonna bring you out for what's the monkey tricks thing?
Field sobriety test.
Field sobriety test. And and we ended up talking about different shows and stuff. I'm like, here next week they're gonna have there was some 80s hair band that used to play Aftershock from time to time, and used to play like something about Six and like maybe Guns, not Guns N' Roses, not
Nikki Sixx.
LA Guns?
not no, LA Guns.
LA Guns.
They used to come through, and they used to play Kilroy shows from time to time.
By the way, LA Guns, we played a show with you. If you're watching this, and you were absolutely horrible to deal with. Oh, and Saliva. Saliva, if you're out there listening to this right now, you are complete fuckwads.
Is that with or without Jonesy Scott?
Both, actually.
Damn, that is disappointing.
Yep.
It's a good thing I don't really like that fucking
I was totally disappointed, man. We played with him like twice, and both
clip
versions.
editing room floor.
No, sorry. No, I'm sorry.
On.
No, sorry.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
I mean, you want to come after me, it's fine. I already opened up the offer a long time ago, and you guys never took it up. So, but anyways, fuck Saliva. Click, fuck off.
Click, poof.
How's that career going now, fuckers?
Oh man, gone.
Never pays to be a dick. Never pays.
No, the greats will always be great. The dicks will always be dicks. Yep. Good times. Well, there's your rocktail, mother luckers, mother truckers, sons of guns,
Flanderers.
I like it.
I like it.
Well, thanks for checking out this bonus episode of the Savor the Burn podcast. We had some mighty fine batch cocktail experiences here with Coops and with what would you call these glasses?
These are beer tasters.
Beer taster glasses,
samplers.
whatever. The glassware doesn't always matter. Sometimes it makes all the difference. If you're tasting whiskeys, grab yourself a tulip shaped fluted glass like a Glencairn.
It's like a smoky syrup.
Hang on. That's
Cinnamon?
no, that's gingerbread.
Same
Gingerbread?
cinnamon, but keep your teeth clean.
Oh, yeah, gingerbread.
Gingerbread.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
That's gingerbread.
yeah,
Anyway, you were saying.
yes, lovely. I'm not sure where I was or what I was saying, but no matter who you are, where you are, who you're drinking with, and what you're drinking, never forget. Keep
Keep on burning.
Yeah.